Have you ever wanted waterfront property? A stream in your own backyard? See, what started out as a easy project or a good idea, sometimes it morphs into something different and you wind up in a completely different spot than what you started. So when we came across this old tub that we had placed out in the woods a while back, we had the bright idea to build a backyard stream and have the stream empty into this tub that we had left in the woods for years. So in this video, we're going to start in one place and end up someplace completely different. All right, come watch the evolution of the backyard stream project. So what can you do with an old tub? Okay, we got an old bathtub from a bathroom remodel that we just did. I have some of this hose laying around. So to get an idea of our project, we laid out some rocks just to kind of eyeball it and give us a better, vision of what this is going to look like when it's done. So to get our distance, I just grabbed the hose I had and let that be my limiting factor and kind of laid it out. So we're just going to have a creek bed. I don't know, it's probably about 20 feet long maybe, and it's going to empty into this tub, and the tub's going to have some water lilies in it, and hopefully we have pretty good sunshine here. You need sunshine if you want your lilies to bloom. I learned that the hard way. Put them in the shaded area of my pond and I've never seen a bloom. So hopefully we can get a bloom out here. This area is pitched a little weird. So at the start, where we want to start our project, where's my finger? Right there. Where we're going to start it is actually lower than where it's going to finish. So we're going to have to build up some ground, and we can do that by making the riverbed itself, kind of digging it out at a, make it kind of dished out and put the dirt on either side, and then we can slope it down to where the tub's going to sit in the ground. This is just kind of like a sitting around, hey, you know what, I got some rocks, I got some pipe, I got this old tub, let's see what we can come up with. I just got home and came home to this. It looks like my wife's been digging a grave in the backyard here. She buried the tub. This could be trouble, If you have a wife like mine that's just ambitious about getting projects done, she has an idea in her head and then she just goes for it, You just got to be careful around a woman like that. The worst thing that happens to me is I get a phone call and she says, hey, where's your saw? And then I don't know what I'm coming home to. You know what I'm saying? But little did I know that the tub was not going to be deep enough. You need enough water in your reservoir to fill the entire, stream and have enough to cover your pump, and with some excess so that, you don't run out of water when some of it evaporates or splashes out. Seriously, I'm glad she's so ambitious because it saves my back a lot when she does these things. So as we went along, we decided to, we had these trees that were planted along our house, and they were going to be problematic as they got larger and, the roots went towards our foundation. So I dug them up and put them around the stream to give it kind of a more closed off feel. The stream, kind of like a backdrop. I removed the tub and dug it down a little more. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to figure out how to make this. So I dished out where the stream's going to go approximately. I have my liner, and I laid it out so I could see how far exactly I could dig. And so there's the stream bed. I'm not really sure how I'm going to make it go back into the liner, but I've piled the dirt up here. So the reservoir where the tub was kind of small, so I wanted to dig it deeper and make it not as large, if that makes any sense. So we get our volume through depth rather than like this giant, long, coffin-size hole. Another issue with the tub would be how to attach the liner to the tub or make it flow into the tub without it leaking. Okay, so it's been a year. We had to stop the tub project and kind of rethink the whole thing. So what we did was we filled in the hole somewhat, went down a little deeper. It's kind of filled with groundwater right now. So it was going to make everything easier if we just used one piece of liner rather than, trying to attach it to the tub and then how to figure out how to, you know, return the water without seeing it in this bright white tub. I mean, I guess we could have painted it black or something, but ultimately we decided to go this route. So there's our liner and our pile of rocks behind it. We did have some underlayment laying around. It wasn't enough to do the whole project, but I didn't care. I was just going to use what I had. All right, I sped all this up because it's extremely boring to watch me, you know, dish out the riverbed. But, you know, you can fast forward. I'll timestamp everything below. But I guess it's kind of entertaining to watch myself dig this out. It makes me tired. All right, so here goes our underlayment. We're laying this down now. I just wanted to make sure I had it in the reservoir and around where the drop off into the reservoir would be, because that would be the most pressure on the liner. And then I'm just holding it down with some rocks, keep it in place and make sure it goes down in the pit. The pit had water in it, as you saw earlier in the video. So now I'm just gonna lay out the liner itself. This is always easier with more people, but as you can see, I'm flying solo in this video. For right now anyways, so, you know, everyone kind of abandoned me. They saw me digging out the, the riverbed and they're like, oh no, I'm out of here. But anyways, so you just gotta make sure that the liner goes down into the reservoir, but also comes up the sides enough so that it's not like caving in on itself. And you wanna get it as smooth as possible and make sure that you remove any rocks or sharp objects underneath. All right, so what I'm doing with this pipe here is I wanted to create a void. You know, you can use rocks or whatever. I wanted to create a void for our pump to go in so that the water has a place to be stored. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna cut it into strips and stack it up kind of like a lasagna, except for I'll have one layer going one way and then the next layer go the other. But that'll create a nice void in there. We'll leave room in the corner to place our pump. All right, so I made like a makeshift pre-filter for our pump. It's just a bucket with some holes. It's just to keep most of the large debris and rocks out of our pump. The pump I had didn't have like a screen on it or anything. I should probably, you know, take care of that, but I didn't. But as you can see, I wound up cutting the corrugated, that's corrugated drain pipe, drain tile is what it's called. Again, it's something else we had laying around, but the bucket in there will, you know, keep our pump somewhat clean from all the debris that's going to wind up in our reservoir eventually. And I just have these boots. This goes from 2 inch to 1.5 inches. I had an 1.5 inch piece of pipe laying around, and then right there goes down to 1.25 inches, so it is reduced. So it's going to increase the pressure just a bit, and then it's coming out there. So we'll see what kind of flow rate we get with this pump. So let's plug it in and see what happens. Okay. Wow, this is coming up pretty good. I don't know if our reservoir is big enough. Well, you can see it's going to be starving for water. But we're going to put some rocks in here and give the water some interest as it flows down our little backyard creek. We'll hide all the hoses and we'll show you the finished product, but you can kind of get the idea of what it's going to look like when we're done. This is kind of cool. It actually came out a little better than I expected. So all I did was place a heavy rock on top of our return pipe, and you can see the difference it makes. Once you put rocks around it, you can really make that water, you know, get distributed more evenly. You can see we've got some good flow. Once you fill this with rocks and stuff, our reservoir seems to be large enough to keep everything going and the stream moving along. So I think we're just going to finish it off and call it a day. This is the fun part, is rocking it all in. So we're going to try and make it look as natural as possible. Again, I sped this up because it is boring to watch. So I had a helper. She saw what I was doing and she's like, I want to do that. So all you do is just kind of place your rocks, you know, over the liner to hide it. Now we had river stone or gravel, landscaping gravel that you use to cover the liner between the cracks in the rocks. So as you can see, like kind of the top of the screen, you can still see the liner between the rocks. Don't worry about that. That'll all be filled in with your smaller gravel. So you're just trying to cover the majority of your liner with the rocks and, you know, go up the side and over the edge with them, as you can see that we're doing here. You could leave the river running just to get an idea of what it's going to look like as the water flows through. You know, put some rocks in the middle of the river and just to add some interest and, you know, for the water to flow around. And as you can see, the dog was very curious. She wanted to be a part of it too. So we were filling up the reservoir. See how full the reservoir is when it's not running. So this stream has just enough water to like sustain itself. So we used larger rocks over the reservoir to hide everything as best we could. You can still see the return pipe somewhat. That can all be buried. But so here it is, the pea gravel going over everything. It's not pea gravel, it's river rock. So there you go. We're doing a little dry run here. We're rinsing everything off. The gravel and stone you get from the nursery, it's extremely dirty and muddy. So when you first start up your river, it's going to, you know, look muddy as it does in the video here. So here I'm digging a little edge and trying to hide the pipe and give a definition to the garden that's going to be going around the stream. Digging out a tree, just place it over here to kind of hide the return rock, make it look a little more natural. Now when you're gardening, I don't know if you ever used landscape fabric, but it's a lifesaver. It really stops the weeds or makes them easy to remove if they get out of hand. So that's all I'm doing there is putting landscape fabric down. The landscape fabric also stops the rocks from disappearing into the earth. So you can see on the right there I have a nice edge with the, you know, stone. But that's what it looks like when you're building it before you clean the water up. So the best way to get the muddy water out is to basically pump it out. You're never going to get all the mud out, but you want to get the majority of the dirt and mud off the stone. So just keep rinsing it and pumping the water out. But you can also let it settle, and that will help quite a bit. All right, so we came back next day, let everything settle after we rinsed everything off, and there you go. That's what it looks like. Plant some flowers around it, some irises. So all you need for this project is a liner, underlayment, a pump and a hose, a bunch of rocks, and some determination, because your back's gonna hurt after digging all that out. There you can see the water cleaned up quite a bit. Got some mulch on there, and it's always good to, once you add the finishing touches. If you like videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe. We love making videos like this, and I hope you like watching them. I hope this helped you get through your project or gave you a little inspiration. You can have waterfront property anywhere you want. And until next time, enjoy your backyard water garden.